Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. So let's go ahead and get my timer started again and let's go ahead and continue on. I think we're done reading all the books here because it's just a little too time consuming, and this guy saw us earlier at the end of the last part, but he was a little slow walking up to us from all the way up there. So, a Theodon. Well, dip me in broth and call me stewed. If it isn't little Korgath, why, I haven't seen you for nearly, quite some time now, anyway. Hello, Theodon, how have you been? I still remember you running around the keep in your little swaddling clothes, pestering the elders and spooking the cows. Ain't that right, Jessup? Surely was. Yep, of course, you never did stay in those rags of yours long. Yes, I remember, but how have you been? You'd be naked as a jaybird the moment someone turned their back on you. I remember the day that fella Blackstaff came floating in, and there you were, tearing around the outer keep with Gorion, hot on your trail. Took the cloak right off his back, you did. You made yourself just the cutest little... Yes, I remember. Could we drop it, please? How have you been? Wait. I remember it all now. There was a Kelvin Blackstaff trying his hardest to look important while you ran around the stables with his cape tied around your waist. Such a lark, eh, Jessup? I thought I'd catch my death from laughing, I did. You and me both. Gorion was shaking like a leaf, he was so mad. As fun as this has been, I really should be going. Nobody was sure what to do, and then Kelvin mutters some words and catches you by the scruff of the neck with some sort of spectral hand. He hauls you out and drops you right in front of him, grabbing his filthy cape in the process. Everyone was scared, they were, weren't they, Jessup? Sure enough, scared witless. Yep, and then old Kelvin bursts out in the biggest laugh you ever heard. Everyone in the keep was laughing like mad, except you, Korgath. You just stood there, naked as the day you were born and wondering what the fuss was about. I tell you, those were the days. Yes, I think I'll be going now. Oh, certainly, little one. Stop by any old time, though. I've got some paintings for you as a I've got some paintings of you as a youngster. I'm sure your little friends would love to see. Remember the one of Korgath on the bearskin rug, Jessup? I surely do, in the buff as usual. Cute as a bog you were. Go play with your friends now. Go on. Okay, Theodon, you are literally worse than a parent. You really are. Okay, let's go and see if we can find that dude who apparently scurried off after he supposedly heard our footsteps. He doesn't seem to be here. Is he in the back somewhere? So far looking like a no. Couple of cooks.
Hello there.
Is there any reason why you're in my kitchen? Cause Martha here don't like people messing with her kitchen. Ain't that right, Martha? Yeah, I don't like no snot-nosed brats causing trouble here. You better scram for I give you a whipping. Okay, Martha.
What?
Okay, you say the same thing if I talk to you directly. Okay, well, let's go and talk to readers. Maybe I gotta talk to a specific reader to find the dude I'm looking for, and the game's just kinda...
Excuse me, but I'm late for my classes.
Nope. Probably not, actually. Evidently. So, there was another reader in here, wasn't there? Yes, there was.
No, excuse me, but I'm late for my
Okay.
classes.
Then I guess he scurried on upstairs. Jessup, let's go and talk to you directly as well.
Our library is a man's harem of knowledge.
Yes. Oh, hello, young one. I trust you are keeping out of trouble. Of course you are. Run along and play with your little friends now. Where the hell did...
No, excuse me, but I'm late for
I don't know where the hell Theodon went, though. Like, he just kind of poofed out of existence, if we're being honest here.
Our library is a man's harem of knowledge.
Hello, Korkath. It is good to see you here once again. I pity you could not have returned during more restful times. Yes. Why? What is going on that would cause you stress? Oh, it's nothing, I'm sure. It's just that, well, things just seem a little strange around here. Those decidedly unmerchant-like merchants for one, and some of our own monks are acting odd as well. One fellow in particular. Really? And who would that be? Well, there's this fella named Kovaras. I assume he is a visiting sage of some sort, but he seems more interested in our guests than the tomes. He makes me nervous. I think he's had the same effect on others as well. Young Scheistal. Sure, that's how I'm going to pronounce your name. I have no idea if that's anywhere near correct. Has been out of sorts for days now. He's not as thick-skinned as I. You remember how nervous he used to be? He's quite the opposite now. Seems like a totally different person. I worry about him. I should go. It has been nice speaking with you. Yes, same here. Random priest.
The god of murder shall perish, but in his doom he shall spawn a score of mortal progeny. Chaos will be sown from their passage, so saith the wise Alondo.
You done, buddy? Yep, okay, great. There's trouble here, Chanter. You must help me. You're right. I have felt it too. Pray tell me how this aging frame can help you. Yes, I feel like number 2 is a great option. As Chanter, you know the history of this keep better than any other. I have grown up here. I have played within its walls, but there are many places I was never allowed to go. I am older now, and I will go where I must, but please, are there any places in this keep of which I was never told? But what right have you to ask that, child? I'm not a child anymore, Chanter. The entire keep is in danger, even if it's most secret and sacred places. Please, Chanter. Gorion would have it so. I am growing old, and the young are not so young anymore, nor the carefree so carefree. Alundo the Seer, the one who founded this Forges of Knowledge, and whose prophecies I chant each day, he is entombed deep in the bowels of this place. I tell you this, Korgath, because you're right. It is time you knew. But I beg of you, in Gorion's name, do not venture into those trapped and warded halls unless some higher power than myself bids you go. Your stepfather would never forgive me for your loss. I must go now, child. Korgath, it is time to chant the Seer's prophecies as I always have. Let's see. Candlekeep holds many secrets, but I have discovered one of them at last. The chanter says crypts lie beneath the keep, holding the remains of Alundo the Seer, and who knows who else. Unfortunately, the chanter could not tell me nothing of the dangers in the crypts, instead imploring me not to enter them. But I think we're going to have to enter them.
These walls contain the world's knowledge.
No, there's a door right there, Emoin. Jesus. Like, you literally could have seen the light from it. There's a watcher. Oh.
You need something strange.
There's Kovaras. Ah, I thought I might find you somewhere around here. Allow me to introduce myself. Please do. My name is Kovaras. I used to work for your father running messages to his Harper friends in Waterdeep. But he passed on. He entrusted this ring to me and asked that I give it to you should evil ever befall him. Will you take it? And what evil befell him, Kovaras? You were there. You saw it all. A woman, an armored figure, 2 ogres wielding clubs and 2 archers. But Gorion's petty magic was of little use against them, was it not? And now, and you You fled with your tail between your legs, hiding amongst the trees until dawn broke. And now it comes full circle, doesn't it? The Iron Throne so close that you can almost touch them and wreak your revenge for that night. You're right there, Kovaros. I was there. Myself, my father, and 6 others who tried to kill us. Where were you if you know so much? If you be so void of trust, I'm surprised you have made it this far. It is of little matter. Go seek your vengeance or your doom at the hand of the Iron Throne. I wash my hands of it.
I should have joined the army.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna say screw it to him. I'm pretty sure Kovaros was there to help them.
With caution.
Random readers, random reader. I'm going to assume the dudes I'm looking for are in the back there. Yep, there was a guy named Tooth. Spelled T-U-T-H. And all I'm seeing are a bunch of random readers. Now, they said 3rd floor, which this would be the 3rd floor, unless you don't count the ground floor as floor 1, and instead you count it as floor 0, which is an option, but I don't think particularly likely. My dear sir, you must realize it is manners that make the gentleman, so would you kindly prove that you are one by leaving? The right people can afford to be rude, but this is not you. Leave now before my right companion Brunos lets his temper get ahead of his reason. Fine, we'll be on our way. Good riddance. Let's investigate further. Although realistically, I think I'm gonna go ahead and load that quick save, and we're gonna head up a floor. Actually, I'm curious if I can have Emo sneak inside or some shit.
With caution.
Oh, scheiße.
No, excuse me, but I'm late for my classes.
Leave me be, stranger. I've work to do. Do you not recognize me? It is me, Korgath. Certainly, Korgath. I did not recognize your face. My apologies. I trust your journeys have been uncomfortable. The cloakwood can be cold this time of year. If you will excuse me, I should go. How did you know I had gone to the cloakwood? Eh? I have relatives in the region. Yes, they must have seen you and sent a note of your progress. How would they know who I was? I think you're lying. You would do well to leave me be. I tire of this game. Take your questions and go away, monkey. Oh no, I have more questions to ask. For starters, who are you really? I am your death, foolish meat.
Tempest, give us victory!
Let's see, so... A doppelganger stole Scheistel's appearance. Fortunately, I forced the monster to reveal its true identity. Unfortunately, there must be more of these creatures disguised as others I know and trust. How about nobody? Bad. No spells. No spells. Bad boy. Oh. And just, by coincidence, Neyra leveled up. I don't want to level up any of those skills, game. I literally do not wish to level any of those skills whatsoever. But I guess I have to do it because, you know, I don't have an option to just say no. You gained 4 hit points. Yes. Wonderful.
Again?
Let's go ahead and pop a heal. I probably should have rested before coming here.
With caution.
Oh, Is this some sort of special necklace or is it just a generic necklace? It is just a generic necklace. Okay. Hey guys, don't mind the dead body in the library. Nothing to worry about there at all. No siree. Random watcher. No, Emo, go inside. Check the room for me. Okay, so presumably somebody who doesn't recognize us is potentially one of these guys, while if they do recognize us, they presumably are friendly.
Our library is a man's harem of knowledge.
Korgath, good to see you. I trust you are well. As well as can be expected, Beato. How have you been? Oh, I pine for the days when you and Gorion still called Candlekeep home. You brought a bit of energy to these walls. I shall have to speak with you later at length, but for now you may rest. Or you must rest. Gorion's old room is the third on the south corridor, just as it was. I think there are a few things for you there as well. We shall see you later. Is the third on the south corridor.
With caution.
Well, how... Is that counting from the top or the bottom? And is it on this floor we're talking about, or is it on a different floor? Some items are left in Grind's chamber for me. I imagine that it is important for me to examine them. After I search Grind's room, I should continue my investigation at the Iron Throne leaders. Yes, of course. But I need to know which room we're talking about. Because I assume this is the southern corridor. In which case, third from the bottom would be this one that has the chest, which I think might be the one we're looking for, but I don't know for certain. You know, I'm thinking it's the one with the giant chest. But it looks like that's wrong. Unless it's not on this floor. Here we go. Okay, it was third from the top. There we go. So, letter. Hello, Korgath. If you're reading this, it means I have met an untimely death. I would tell you not to grieve for me, but I feel much better thinking that you would. There are things I must tell you in this letter that I might have told you before. However, if my death came too soon, then I would have never been given the chance. First of all, I am not your biological father, for that distinction lies with an entity known as Baal. The Baal that I speak of is the one you know of as a divinity. In the crisis known as the Time of Troubles, when the gods walked Faerun, Baal was also forced into a mortal shell. He was somehow forewarned of the death that awaited him during this time. For reasons unknown to me, he sought out women of every race and forced himself upon them. Your mother was one of those women, and as you know, she died in childbirth. I had been her friend and, on occasion, lover. I felt obligated to raise you as my own. I have always thought of you as my child, and I hope you still think of me as your father. You are a special child. The blood of the gods runs through your veins. If you make use of our extensive library, you will find that our founder, Alundo, has many prophecies concerning the coming of the spawn of Baal. There are many who will want to use you for their own purposes. One, a man who calls himself Servok, is the worst danger. He has studied here at Candlekeep and thus warns a great deal, and thus knows a great deal about your history and who you are. Intriguing. And he gave me some gold. It's not super useful if we're being honest here.
Our rules are very strict.
You there! Stop and surrender yourself. You are accused of murdering the men Brunos Kostak, Thaldon Thevich, and Raitar Arkiv. If you give yourself up now, you will be assured of a fair trial. What? we haven't killed them. Which makes this interesting. I didn't murder anyone, so I'm perfectly willing to go to trial. My innocence of this accusation should be refuted quickly within a fair court of law. I'm glad you still have some sense of Gorion taught you. Or some of the sense Gorion taught you. Please, follow me. I'm sure everything will be sorted out quickly. Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Also, they don't take our weapons, which is just, you know, terrible fucking prison policy. So, Korgath, you have sullied your father's name by defiling his home and bringing ruin to a place that has lasted for centuries. I spit on you and all of your friends. Your transgression will be punished in the most severe form. I formally accuse you of the murders of Brunos Kostak and Realtor Anshiv. But I have done nothing wrong. Why have you accused me of such a thing? You were seen fleeing the site of the murder by the guest known as Kovaris. For everything we have seen and found, it is not hard to figure what your purpose was. From what I have been told, you have been trying to place all the misfortune of the Sword Coast squarely on the shoulders of the Iron Throne. I assume you and your friends are assassins in the employ of Am. Perhaps you were sent up north to create discord in the region before an Amanian invasion. It matters little. You and your friends are to be sent to Baldur's Gate where an appropriate punishment will be administered. Can we not just break down the bars? Hello, young one. I am sorry to see thee in such terrible circumstances. I know thee well enough to see that you have been falsely accused. Tomorrow, Alront will most likely sentence thee to be sent to Baldur's Gate. There thou wouldst receive the death penalty for these actions. I know that Gorion would not want to see his only child killed a scant few weeks after his own death. It's been a little bit more than a few weeks. It is a favor to his memory that I will help thee escape. Make thy way through the catacombs beneath the library, but disturb them not. I have your possessions with me. You must take them and go with haste. Do you know anyone by the name of Kovaris? I know of no one named Kovaris, but Kovaris is the reverse of Servok. Dun dun dun! A young man who has accompanied the leaders of the Iron Throne when they first came. I know not where he has gone. It is time for you to go, Korgath. I can teleport you to the secret room that leads to the catacombs, but from there you are on your own. You must be careful within the catacombs, as there are many guardians and traps, and perhaps whoever planted these murders. However dangerous the catacombs may be, they are a safer alternative to Alront's wrath. Why can't you teleport us outside of Candlekeep? Candlekeep is protected by powerful runes that seal it from divinatory and alteration magics. If I were to teleport you outside of Candlekeep, you'd be ripped asunder when you came in contact with the protective field. Trust me, child, this is the only way. But I'm not interested in leaving just yet. I actually wanted to go back and see if we can find any of those books that supposedly talk about
Yes.
Balls.
With
Spall. Excuse me, Spawn.
Yes. Yes.
So we're just gonna go ahead with myself and run around. Actually, you know what? Emoin is significantly faster, and it doesn't matter who reads the shit. You don't have inventory space, do you? No, you don't. Let's see if we can shift some stuff around to get you some inventory space. Looks like we already have luck learned for anybody that it's relevant to. History of Shadowdale, I don't think that's going to have what we're looking for. History of the Dales in the Elven Court again. History of the Fateful Coin, I don't think that's going to be helpful. I'm curious about this stuff. History of the North. Shield. Looks like we already have that potentially. History of Shadowdale again. More history of Shadowdale.
I'm gone.
History of the North. History of the North 9. 3, because we can't have this shit in order. 2. No, that doesn't look like it's what we're looking for. History of Shadowdale. What was that, 12? Is that literally 2 of them that are 12? History of the North. History of the North. There's some books down here. Shadowdale. Shadowdale. Come on. I want to assume that any book that's about the spawn of Baal's children will, be kind of straightforward with a name. You know, maybe something that sounds kind of bad.
I'll do it.
Go downstairs. I need you to carry some stuff for me. There's a book for you, or a spell for you, but you can't use it. Whoops.
This way.
You can't use that one either. History of the North 1. Some acid arrow shit. Another luck scroll. History of the Last March of the Giants. Nope. Nope, not seeing any obvious indications that that's what I'm looking for. Dale's in the Elven Court again. History of the Bell in the Depths. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, one last look. Let's head down to the lower levels.
I'm gone.
We didn't really check stuff down here too much. Letter. Here we go. During the days of the not really. During the days of the Avatars, the Lord of Murder will spawn a score of mortal progeny. These offspring will be aligned good and evil, but chaos will flow through them all. When the beast's bastard children come of age, they will bring havoc to the lands of the Sword Coast. One of these children must rise above the rest and claim their father's legacy. This inheritor will shape the history of the Sword Coast for centuries to come. That sounds like what we're looking for. That sounds exactly like what we're looking for. Oh, are these not the same type of arrow? Arrow biting. Oh, arrow of ice. Oh, okay. Were these ones cursed? No. You have literally zero benefit to wearing them. Well, fuck it. If you have literally zero benefit or negative for wearing them, just go ahead and wear them. The spawn of the Lord of Murder are fated to come into their inheritance through bloodshed and misery. It is the hope of their father that only one shall remain alive to inherit his legacy. I foresee that the children of Baal shall kill each other in a bloody massacre. Well, that is basically exactly what we wanted to hear. In a sense.
I'll do it.
Naira, I need you to carry some more shit for me.
And watch this.
I know that's not what you're intended for. But there's a couple more spells for you to carry.
I've done had enough of this.
And
Temper Thy Valkor's mighty blade.
Yeah, you got plenty of inventory here, Branwen. Got a couple stuff I would like for you to go ahead and snatch up for me too. I kind of want to carry those letters, just on the off chance they're useful for something. I don't think they are, though. I really don't.
'Tis a fine day to die.
Okay, back up top. My timer going off.
'Tis a fine day to die.
Think carefully.
Okay. Now, out of curiosity, is your thing ready to go? For identifying? Yes, it is. Okay. We have a mace, but nobody is using maces. Because maces are not clubs. Here we go. I got some bracers I'd like for you to identify. AC 7, not particularly useful for anybody. We can wear them, they're not cursed or anything, but no, they literally don't benefit us at all. Random wand, medium shield. Oh, you apparently only had the one ready to go.
Think carefully.
Okay, now we could go and murder them, but evidently that is not really a thing we need to do. Although I am curious if, now that we theoretically have extra information, if there's any extra dialogue we maybe get. Because we're not going to kill them. If this immediately jumps us into combat, we're going to go ahead and load that quick save that we made before we approached, but if it doesn't, then great. You're the leaders of the Iron Throne. You're the ones who've caused you so much trouble over the past weeks. We know what you're all about, and soon so will Duke Elton. And you're stupid enough to admit this? Well, my young friend, you may find safety within the library, but once you've left, there will be no place for you to run. Yeah, no, again, we're not going to jump into a fight. We'll leave, but don't think this is the last of it. It won't be, not by a long shot. Admittedly, you know, basically saying, hey, yeah, threatening them is not necessarily the best idea. That gives motive, if anybody asks.
With caution.
But we're sort of just gonna ignore the whole thing in total.
Our rules are very strict.
I didn't murder anybody. I might have threatened him, but I did not actually do it. Well, let this part run a little bit long as we get back to where we were before I loaded the autosave to try and find those, you know, letters. But I have not done nothing wrong. Do you know of the man, or do you know anyone by the name of Kovaras? Yada yada yada. Teleport us to the secret library. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Okay. Tethtorel has freed me from my imprisonment, knowing that I am not guilty. He has sent me to the catacombs beneath Candlekeep, where I should be able to make my escape. I must then travel to Baldur's Gate to stop Servok, or Kohoras, as he has been calling himself recently. But that's all gonna have to wait until next time. So, let's go ahead and save. This is 54. But yeah, so that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time. Quick reminder, if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with the channel, any potential changes to my recording schedule and the like, I would highly, highly recommend that you join my Discord server. You can find a link to that down below in the description. if you want to support the channel financially because you find yourself enjoying this series or any other series on the channel that you enjoy, particularly those that are actively going, of course. I don't expect people to support the channel because there was a series that they enjoyed. But if you want to go ahead and do that, the two major ways to do that are going to be either via Patreon or Streamlabs. If you go the Patreon route, you get some goodies, such as early access to videos. However, if you go the Streamlabs route, you don't get any goodies except the warm, fuzzy feeling that more of the money you give actually reaches the channel directly. At least on a per tip donation, whatever you want to call it, basis. If I recall correctly, Patreon takes a 5% cut in my scenario, but I believe they take their 5% cut based off of the total amount, I believe. While Streamlabs does not take a cut themselves, but some of the people that are used as, doing the payment processing, whether that be PayPal, direct credit card, etc., do take a cut. But I think the only one that takes a particularly large cut is direct credit card transactions. If you do it via, PayPal or one of the other sort of, lack of a better way to describe it, mobile banking apps, then they take, I believe, a significantly smaller cut than what is, taken when you do a normal credit or debit card transaction. But yeah, so that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time, where we will be exploring the catacombs, or at least starting to explore them. I definitely don't expect to be out of here next part, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't know how big it is, but I assume it's fairly big. But yeah, so like I said, I'll see you all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.